Imagine flying from New York to London in just 1 hour and 54 minutes. It sounds like a dream, right? Well, it became a reality thanks to the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird. This incredible spy plane ruled the skies for over 30 years and achieved some amazing things. Join us as we uncover the exciting history of the Blackbird, from its top-secret development at Lockheed Skunk Works to its crucial role in collecting important information during the Cold War. We'll learn about its cool design, advanced technology, and the brave pilots who took on daring missions. The SR-71 Blackbird is the fastest stealth spy plane in the world. It flies at 3 times the speed of sound, faster than a rifle bullet. Its distinct look, a spaceship and airplane combined, is an art piece. The record for the quickest and highest man-made flight without rocket propulsion still stands after 50 years, pushing 1960s aviation technology to its limits. The Blackbird was a high-risk, multi-million-dollar gamble that depended on manual calculations using slide rules and calculators, since today's high-powered computers did not exist in those days. The sign of supersonic high-speed cruises, it has been the guardian of the free world, and the brave pilots put their lives on the line to fly on the edge of the impossible. The SR-71 Blackbird started off during the Cold War's high point in 1957 as the development of intercontinental ballistic missiles necessitated intelligence on the nuclear armaments used by the Soviet Union. Project Archangel, spearheaded by aviation genius Kelly Johnson at Lockheed Skunk Works, sought to develop an invisible spy plane capable of penetrating Soviet airspace without detection by radar. In 1955, Kelly Johnson came up with the U-2. The first spy plane in America. The U-2 flew at high altitudes so as not to be detected by Soviet radar. But it was detected, and therefore there was a need for another spy plane, which could not be detected. In 1958, Skunk Works began the Archangel project, detailing 10 designs with prefix A for Archangel. Even with worries of radar visibility, the A-10, with a speed of Mach 3.2, came out as the preferred option. In March 1959, Skunk Works answered the radar visibility problem to win a $96 million contract from the CIA for the A-12, a design that had breakthrough components from different Archangel designs. It revealed that spy planes were vulnerable, and replacement was necessary. Yet the construction of the A-12, which needed to fly at Mach 3, was a challenge for the Skunk Works. The high speed necessitated a change from traditional aluminum to titanium because of high temperatures developed in flight. Skunk Works eliminated problems such as acquiring titanium from the Soviet Union by dummy companies and formulated new manufacturing processes. The A-12, which became the SR-71, began operations in 1966, and its speed became the world's fastest plane. It was characterized by its unique features and groundbreaking stealth technology, and thus became an aviation icon. The blunder by President Johnson of naming it the SR-71 rather than RS-71 became its official designation. The SR-71's record-breaking speed and altitude capabilities greatly contributed to the strategic advantage that the United States was able to hold throughout the course of the Cold War. The need for Blackbird usage intensified during the Cuban Missile Crisis, especially after Air Force Major Rudolph Anderson died in a U-2 reconnaissance mission over Cuba, shot down by a Soviet surface-to-air missile. This tragic incident stressed the importance of a high-performance substitute, and the Skunk Works squad reacted, despite its determination and creativity. The Blackbird's flight testing phase posed many challenges to Skunk Works, always pushing the envelope of aeronautical achievement. The Blackbird, beating records every time it flew, in particular, exceeded Mach 3 on July 20, 1963, and reached an incredible altitude of 78,000 feet. These were not easy feats. The fast pace of 3,000 feet per second demanded a revision of navigation approach. Old visual clues such as highways and cities became illusory, replaced by the use of mountain ranges, coastlines, and large bodies of water. On December 22, 1964, a Blackbird made its final flight checks at Lockheed's plant in Palmdale, California. It was the first official test flight for the SR-71, and the test pilot was Bob Gilland, personally chosen by Kelly Johnson. With 383 unresolved technical issues or open items, Gilland, originally instructed not to push the plane too hard, eventually broke the sound barrier, reaching speeds of 1,600 kilometers per hour and cruising at 15,000 meters, over 3 kilometers higher than a commercial jetliner. The Blackbird flying was a demanding task that demanded from the pilot to be focused despite the challenges. As for pilots, they felt excited in the pilot cabin, loving their positions in this challenging and adrenaline-filled assignment. He compared the experience to almost a religious one, the Air Force Colonel Jim Watkins. At 85,000 feet and Mach 3, the Blackbird's speed and altitude was unparalleled and rendered it immune to conventional air defense systems. When anti-aircraft guns were fired, the danger warning light on the control panel shone, but the Blackbird's evasive maneuvers were usually successful. That is, surface-to-air missiles exploded away from their objective. The Blackbird was dubbed a 3-second plane because it required full focus, but tragedy struck in January 1966 during a crucial test flight. Pilot Bill Weaver and reconnaissance specialist Jim Zurr were presumed lost. Weaver, in a miracle, survived a fall from the edge of space, landing in New Mexico, to find that his friend Zurr had not. This study revealed that efficiency enhancement, which caused instability, had resulted in loss of control and catastrophic fatigue of the airframe. By 1967, solutions were reached, and the Blackbird program was fully operational from Beale Air Force Base, California. The Blackbird set records for flying 3 times faster than the sound of speed. The engines of this aircraft generated 160,000 horsepower, thus permitting it to fly 25 kilometers above the ground. It also never saw service over the Soviet Union. It, however, was very instrumental in Vietnam during 1968, where it was used to collect intelligence and essential information. In 1968, the Blackbird was seen by enemy radar for the first time, and surface-to-air missiles became more efficient. In 1981, it was also instrumental in gathering intelligence on North Korean anti-aircraft missiles. Strategically, a crew of the Blackbird was flying on a mission over the demilitarized zone when they were subjected to a simulated missile launch, but were shocked to learn that it was a live missile approaching at phenomenal speeds. The tension continued to increase as the crew evaluated the situation, realizing that the live missile was rapidly ascending. In August 1981, under heightened tensions, North Korea fired a Soviet-made guided missile at a Blackbird spy plane. This elicited a risky move by aircrew Maury Rosenberg and Ed McKim. The Blackbird's unparalleled speed saved it. Enemy missiles were unable to recalculate and redirect in time. Despite the Soviet Union having developed a MiG-25 fighter, no SR-71 Blackbird was shot down by enemy fire. It was 9 years later that the Blackbird was the fastest spy plane in the world, until the prevalence of satellite technology. SR-71 Blackbird, terminated in March 1990, was rounded off with a record-setting flight from LA to Washington, D.C. The Blackbird proved its heritage through many records. It is acknowledged as the world's fastest and highest-flying manned aircraft. In its retirement flight of 1990, covering the entire coast-to-coast distance from Los Angeles to Washington, a journey that lasted only 67 minutes, it showcased its unique speed. Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird, besides all these accomplishments, played a significant role in performing strategic responsibilities by giving the United States of America high-resolution and mission-oriented reconnaissance for more than 2 decades. It was the early retirement that caused regret during the Gulf War, since the unique Blackbird features lacked. In fact, the Blackbird was a costly airplane to run, and the maintenance of it was also getting harder. Moreover, the growth of new satellite technology rendered the Blackbird unnecessary. Thus, in the late 1990s, the aircraft was retired. Technologies including the B-2 stealth bomber and F-117A Nighthawk are the Blackbird legacy. It remains legendary even after 50 years, having appeared in Hollywood movies and being the holder of the highest and fastest flying manned aircraft record. The Lockheed YF-12A is an example among the Interceptor's prototypes, based on Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird, the revolutionary groundbreaking project. With the A-12 SR-71 program running in parallel, it looks like the SR-71, but the radar is bigger and the armament is stronger. The Soviet Union retaliated against the SR-71 with the McCoy-Gurevich MiG-25 Foxbat, the biggest and heaviest fighter aircraft ever constructed. The MiG-25, although not as stealthy as the first design, could achieve Mach 3.2, which was a daunting challenge as a countermeasure. The SR-71 Blackbird is a symbol of perseverance, ingenuity, and patriotism, serving as a key instrument in preserving the peace during the Cold War and leaving an indelible imprint on aviation history. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and watch the next video as well. See you again.